Well, the winter blues have officially set in. This has been the routine around here for a while. But it's fine. Usually I just hunker down in the bike dungeon and get myself into some sort of project. Last year I did a road bike renovation that I picked up at a swap meet. And this year is no different, although this one's more out of necessity. Oof, let's get something on that ugly green screen. That's better. This is where my bike has pretty much been since before Thanksgiving. It's a long story. Long enough that it'll probably be the next video. So be sure to subscribe and get notified when that one comes out. But first, welcome to where we give a short review of a product or service. We're no experts, just everyday schlubs with an opinion that hopefully you'll find helpful. Today we're going to talk about whether you really need a full suspension mountain bike, or do I really need one? Which of my 2 cents will it get? I'm your host, Nobby Wheeler, and this is My 2 Cents. Back when the bike first bit the dust and the weather wasn't a disaster, I took the old hardtail out for a trail ride for the first time in like 3 years. I thought it'd be fun to talk about how it went. Would I be miserable without the full suspension bike? Or would I even miss it at all? If you're thinking about getting into biking or just wanting to buy a new bike and deciding between a hardtail or full suspension, here's my 2 cents. Bottom line, if you're just starting out in mountain biking, a little older like me, 40s, 50s, etc., and aren't looking to go crazy on the thing, you absolutely do not need a full suspension bicycle.
No. Hell no!
First of all, they are generally heavier than a decent hardtail, which may be a detraction for someone who is already struggling with fitness. They're generally bigger and beefier than hardtails, which make them harder to get comfortable on if you're a new cyclist. And perhaps the most important, they can be ridiculously expensive. If you're just starting out something new, it might be best to dip your toe in the water and see if you like it. Not everything is for everybody, and before you go drop thousands of dollars, get yourself something affordable and give it a season or 2. I'm sure I'm not alone when I look at that spiffy exercise bike I bought 20 years ago and can divide what I paid for it by the times I've used it and still come out to about $15 per ride. I can do all the things on my hardtail that I do on my full squish. Like I said, my average rides do not involve bike parks, crazy jumps, or insane technical sections. I ride to get out of the house, get some fresh air, and maybe get into a little shape. Now, having said all that, I will say that I wouldn't trade my full suspension for anything, except maybe another full suspension or an e-bike, but I digress. Now for me, investing in a full suspension was not all that risky. Bikes are pretty much the only sport I've stuck with all my life. I've never been into team sports like baseball or football. My ankles are shot, so running is out of the question. Biking has been the only thing that I've really enjoyed. And even so, this hardtail I built from the ground up and rode for a year and a half before I got a full suspension. What I will say about the full suspension is not that it allows me to do more spectacular stuff on the bike or ride crazier trails. No. For me and my older bag of bones, it is solely a comfort thing. While I can ride all the same trails on the hardtail, the full suspension absorbs the bumps and makes the ride much more comfortable. The first thing I noticed when being back on the hardtail was how my joints felt everything. It does provide a little more traction, and the gearing on my full suspension is better than my hardtail, but that's something that is correctable. So do I need it? No. But do I miss it? Like fun I do. I can also tell you Rich loves his full suspension heads and tails above his hardtail. But the comparison is tough because his hardtail is entry level compared to his Trek Remedy. It's like comparing hamburger to steak. So I'm not here to tell you what you should buy. You need to assess your level of commitment, how often and the type of trails you ride, and your budget. But if a pushy salesperson is telling you that you need the top of the line full suspension bike on the showroom floor, chances are they are working on commission. Although every bike shop person I've ever encountered have been stand-up and honest folks and will probably tell you everything that I've told you today. If you've had the opportunity to own or ride both, what do you prefer? Let me know in the comments below. So do your homework, assess your priorities, and make your choice. Whatever you choose, just get out there, stay young, and ride safe.